Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. Ba-ding!
I was waiting for it.
See, maybe you guys are going to get tired of it now. She's not reacting so good. I'll have to come up with a new one. So today, what are we doing? We're at Henderson Harley-Davidson out here by Las Vegas. Right next door is Henderson. So we're checking it out today. Tam's going to go inside and she's going to talk about what her first bike was. It's not here anymore, but she's going to tell you what she likes. And we're also going to get one of the ride instructors. Actually, he's the head of the ride department here at Henderson Harley. And he's going to go at the end and going to tell you what he recommends from all of his experience. So let's go ahead and go inside and take a look around and see if we can find a bike that was similar to Tam's first bike.
So don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell.
Let's roll inside.
Here we go.
I guess we'll walk, we won't roll.
Yeah, I don't need to roll. I could, but...
All right, so today we're over here at the bike. Tam's going to talk about a bike that she had when she first started riding, so it's going to be a recommendation, and we'll see what she has to say about it and show you how easy it is for her to get on and off of this bike. So it's kind of a bike that we would recommend for an entry-level person, or if a girl or a gal out there wants to learn how to ride a bike. This is how Tam started all her riding.
That's right.
So let's go take a look at it and go from there.
Alrighty. Okay, right now we're at the Harley-Davidson in Henderson, Nevada, and we're checking out a Sportster 1200. This is a 2015. My first bike was a 2007, but this is very similar to mine. The height and everything had a little bit different seat, but I'll show you a little bit about it and what I liked about it. So it's easy to get on. It's not very tall. I'm only 5'4" and don't have very long legs. It's easy to pick up. My handlebars. My handlebars were a little bit more curved in than this. I don't know if I like these as much as the ones that I had, but it's very easy to control. It's a lot lighter weight than my Street Glide was, so that's what I liked about it. Mine had loud pipes on it. I like that. And it was just a good bike for me. I was able to zip around on it, and I could handle the curves real easily. I could stop. As you can see, I've got a lot of room in my knees that I can stand up on it, and where my Street Glide I couldn't. My legs were pretty straight on my Street Glide. So if you're wanting a first bike, looking at things, this is one I'd recommend. I liked the 1200 because it was had a little more speed to it, so I could get up and go. I drove it to work a lot, so I was on the freeway, so I could kind of get through traffic a little easier. We were in California, so you were allowed to split lanes back there. So this is my recommendation.
How many miles you ride?
I rode about 40,000 miles I put on that bike, riding back and forth to work, and then on the weekends we would ride quite a bit. Sometimes I'd ride with Bob, sometimes I'd ride myself, but we did a lot of group rides back with our Corona group, so all the Corona guys. But that was my first bike, and they can put comments down there about what they thought of my riding. So they said I did all right in the class, so I liked it. Never rode a motorcycle before, always rode on the back of Bob's, so I did really well. I rode for about 10 years. 2009 is when I got my license. I rode to 2019 when I sold my bike. So that's my story.
You see, that was Tam's, actually not her first bike, but I mean, maybe we'll find a picture of her first bike and we'll flash it up here and show you what it looked like. We actually got a really good deal. It was a Marine. We were down by Orange County, California, and a Marine from down in San Diego was being shipped overseas. So he had brought the bike in and sold it to the dealership. So of course, the dealership didn't give him very much money. They didn't think it was worth very much. I actually seen it in the back and made an offer on it, and we bought it. Actually bought it before she even had her driver's test.
He did. He bought me that before I got it. And another thing I wanted to mention, I would highly recommend, if you've never ridden a bike before, taking the Rider's Edge course. It was well worth it. It helped me a lot. And then you don't have to go to the DMV and take that riding test. I had to go and take the written test. Then I went and take the Rider's Edge class, went back, got my license. Simple.
And that depends on the state you're in. We're actually, right today we're in Nevada, we're actually in Arizona. So in those 2 states, and I believe California, because that's where she did it in California, once you take these rider edge courses, you don't have to go and take the driving part, which is always the most stressful when you're going out on a motorcycle, even between those cones and all that kind of stuff, dropping the bike, where once you've passed this class, all you have to do is take the certification down and they get you your endorsement on your license. So that's really nice.
And some of the dealerships also offer the one I took, so you're not as intimidated as a woman. There was 5 of us girls, it was only girls in the class, and I think only 2 of us ended up riding. And the other 3, I guess, weren't so sure. So as far as I know, it was only 2 of us out of the 5 that actually continued riding bikes.
They also talk about a jump start. I think most dealers have that, the Harley dealers have it, but it's one of the things that they have here in the Las Vegas area with their 3 dealerships that they have here, that you can get on it, you can come here, and if you're thinking about buying a bike, and you've never even rode a motorcycle before, you can get on that sucker, and it's kind of like, we call it like a dyno. It's got where the front wheel goes in. I think they've got it here. We'll show you a picture of what it looks like, but the front wheel's locked in, it's on the back wheel, so you can drive it, you can shift the gears, you can hit the brake, you can even act like you're gonna fall off, and it stays stationary because the front end's already held up for you. So it's a good way to get a feel for what a motorcycle was, because Tam's issue was when she first got on a motorcycle, she's like, hey, there are brakes here, this is over here, this is here, I gotta shift with my foot. I'm never gonna be able to do that.
I'm dyslexic, so I'm thinking, I am never gonna remember where all these parts are. And the other thing I was scared at, I can drive a manual stick shift car, and you know how when you're going up a hill and you can kill it and all that stuff, I was thinking since I had to shift gears, that was going to be an issue and I was going to be killing it all the time. A motorcycle is totally different than a car. So if you're scared of that, don't let that scare you. It's not that hard.
For the Ride Academy here is Matt. He's going to tell us a little bit about what he suggests for somebody that's thinking about buying a bike the first time. He's going to give you his professional opinion because they've trained thousands of people, and he's actually been doing this for years, doing this Ride Academy. He actually said from Illinois and Wisconsin, and came out here to Vegas now, and so he's been doing it a long time. So let's go ahead and listen to him and see what Matt's got to say.
All right, here you go, Matt.
My name is Matt Cameron. I'm the Riding Academy Manager here at Henderson Harley-Davidson in Henderson, Nevada.
So what's your recommendation for somebody coming in that's never had a motorcycle?
Well, my first suggestion is make sure that the bike you buy fits your body, fits your budget, and fits the style of riding that you want to do. A lot of that has to do with seat height. Engine size is a factor, it determines power and weight, but for many students we find that a lower seat height and handlebars in a good position makes it easier for them to manage the bike.
So any bike could be fit to someone?
Ideally, yes. That's one of the benefits of Harley and all of the parts selections that we've got, is if you find a bike you like but feel like the handlebars are too much of a reach or the seat's too high, there's things you can do with changing seat or handlebars. Beyond that, you can change suspension and actually lower the machine, and that's our goal over there in Parts and Accessories, is to make the bike fit you and the way you want to ride.
So here at Henderson Harley, you run the Ride Academy?
Yes.
And how often does that run?
We are currently running 8 classes a month, 1 weekday and 1 weekend.
And how many hours is that?
Well, it's 25-ish hours, depending on the students. It's meant to be 5 hours of riding, 10 hours of riding, 5 hours of classroom, plus a 3-hour online thing called the e-course, and then we add some stuff because it's Harley. We give a tour and offer experiences like the Jump Start, which is something that maybe we could take a look at if you're interested in that. And so about 20 to 25 hours total over a 3-day schedule. We do a 3-hour evening session, and right now in the hot weather we start at 6 in the morning and finish by 3 on the 2 following days.
Is yours accredited for a driver's license? Is it in Nevada?
In Nevada and in Arizona, as a matter of fact. If you complete our class, you get a card that you can take to the DMV, and it's considered evidence of completing the testing. We don't issue a license here, but once a person is successful in the class, they take a completion card to the DMV, and then they get their endorsement.
Okay, sounds great. I thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Here we are back here in the back of the shop. They actually have it here in the back. I don't know if they pull it out for special occasions or whatever.
Probably so.
But well, let's take a quick look at this. She wanted to ride it, but they weren't really set up today to have it fired up and running and stuff. So she'll sit on it and we'll kind of take a quick look around this thing and show you how easy it is to get on and off of it and how safe it is.
All right.
I'm aboard. So you can shake the bike. It ain't gonna go nowhere.
And then you can get on it like you're riding it. And then you can shift all the gears, pull in the clutch, shift the gears. I thought you just put it in gear.
Yep. And so you can see back here, there's the dyno. Not really a dyno, but it's on a pulley system similar to spindles, and lets it spin. So that way you can pick up all the speed. You can go as fast as you want on this guy.
This
And
one's probably, I don't know, 6-speed, and so you can probably get it all the way up into 6th gear.
so it's pretty safe, and it's just a good way. It's just a good way to get a feel for a motorcycle. So if you're in the Las Vegas area or out there in Kingman area, we'll have to check. I think Kingman does have one. If they don't, we'll put it down here in this box. You know, they didn't have it. But most dealerships that we go to do have this there. So check with your dealership and see if they have.
Jump start.
They call it a jump start. So check and see, and if they don't have it, let us know, and we'll find a dealer in your area that has a jump start. That if you have never rode on a bike, give you that feel without having to go out on the road and maybe dropping it the first time because you're not used to it.
That's right. You don't want to do that. That'll scare you, and then you'll never ride again.
So we're going to go ahead and leave you right here at the Henderson dealership. If you guys thought this was a really good video that we put out today about Tam's experience on her bike and what she thought about that, and leave us a comment down here. Let us know what you thought about it. You know, kind of let Tam do a little more talking this time. So if you like that, let us know. And from that, we're going to leave you with your part.
So thanks for coming along today. Tell us what your first bike was, or if you're thinking about getting a bike, let us know. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Think about Patreon. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.